Formula One may have just been hit by the most shocking sponsorship leak of the entire season. Because according to explosive reports from inside the paddock, Gucci is preparing a massive takeover of Alpine that could completely transform the team's identity, and the numbers are absolutely insane. Up to 60 million euros per year. That is potentially double Alpine's current title sponsorship deal. Double. And suddenly, rival Formula One teams are paying very close attention. Because this is not just another sponsor entering Formula One. This could become the biggest luxury fashion invasion the sport has ever seen. The iconic pink BWT Alpine may disappear forever. In its place? Black Gucci liveries, designer race suits, luxury VIP experiences inside the paddock, and possibly a completely new official team identity. Gucci Alpine Formula One team. That changes everything. Because Formula One is no longer just a racing championship. It has become the most exclusive luxury marketplace in world sport. Celebrities, fashion, billionaires, global influence. And Gucci reportedly wants to dominate that world before anyone else gets there first. The timing is not random either. Formula One's audience in the United States has exploded from roughly 500,000 viewers to more than 1.5 million per race. 3 American Grands Prix. Drive to Survive. Hollywood attention. Luxury brands now see Formula One as the ultimate gateway into the American market. And Alpine suddenly became the perfect target. Because BWT reportedly will not renew after 2026. The door opened. And Gucci may already be walking through it. But here is where the story becomes even more explosive. This is not only about branding. It is about power. Because if Alpine secures a 60 million euro luxury partnership while rising competitively at the same time, the entire balance of the midfield could change overnight. And honestly, one driver may already be helping make the deal even bigger. Franco Colapinto. Because after Miami, Alpine's commercial value reportedly exploded thanks to Colapinto's massive popularity growth across South America and the United States. Millions of followers. Huge online engagement. A rapidly growing global fan base. Exactly the audience Gucci wants while expanding aggressively into younger luxury markets. And now the paddock is asking one massive question. Is this simply a sponsorship deal? Or the beginning of Alpine transforming into Formula One's next global superpower? At first, most people inside Formula One thought the Gucci rumors were exaggerated. A luxury fashion brand entering Formula One at that level sounded almost unbelievable. But then the financial details started leaking. 30 million, 40 million, 50 million. Some reports even placed the potential agreement near 60 million euros annually. And suddenly, the entire paddock started paying attention. Because that is not normal sponsorship money for a midfield Formula One team. That is top-tier investment. The kind of investment capable of changing a team's future completely. And honestly, Alpine needs exactly that right now. Because BWT reportedly will not renew beyond 2026. That means Alpine was already preparing for a major identity shift behind the scenes. The pink era was ending. The real question was always what came next. Nobody expected the answer to be Gucci. And this is where the story becomes much bigger than motorsport itself. Because Gucci is not entering Formula One simply for visibility. The strategy is far more aggressive. According to reports, Formula One's explosive growth in the United States became one of the biggest reasons Gucci seriously explored the deal. That detail changes everything. Because Formula One in America is no longer just racing. It became culture, celebrity influence, luxury entertainment, fashion, Miami, Las Vegas, Monaco-style glamour arriving directly into the American market. And Gucci reportedly sees Formula One as the perfect platform to dominate that audience before rival luxury brands move even deeper into the sport. That is why this partnership could become historic. Because unlike traditional sponsors, Gucci would not simply place logos on the car. Reports suggest the agreement could include complete integration across the entire team identity. Driver uniforms, mechanic clothing, VIP hospitality experiences, global co-branding campaigns, even influence over the future livery itself. And honestly, that could completely transform Alpine overnight. Imagine Formula One cameras entering the Alpine garage in 2027. No more pink BWT branding. Instead, black luxury aesthetics, designer-inspired uniforms, minimalist Gucci styling surrounding the entire paddock setup. The team suddenly looking more like a global fashion empire than a traditional racing operation. That level of transformation almost never happens in modern Formula One. And according to reports, the rebrand could go even further. Because the proposed official team name may become Gucci Alpine Formula One Team. That is enormous. In Formula One, naming rights are power. Every television broadcast, every podium ceremony, every social media graphic, every global headline. The Gucci name would instantly become one of the most visible luxury brands in world sport. And Alpine understands exactly how valuable that is. Especially now. Because behind the glamour, there is another reason this deal suddenly became realistic. Performance. For the first time in years, Alpine finally looks competitive again. After Miami, the team climbed to 5th in the Constructors' Championship with 23 points. That may not sound revolutionary compared to Mercedes or Ferrari. But inside Formula One, momentum changes everything. Sponsors do not invest only in history. They invest in trajectory. And Alpine suddenly has one. Especially because one driver may now be changing the entire commercial value of the project. Franco Colapinto. Because according to reports, Colapinto's breakout Miami performance gave Alpine exactly the type of visibility Gucci wants while targeting the American and South American markets. Millions of followers. Huge online engagement. Massive popularity growth. And most importantly, a young driver who already feels culturally bigger than Formula One itself in parts of Latin America. That matters enormously for a luxury brand. Because Gucci is not buying only exposure. They are buying influence. And suddenly, Alpine may have become the perfect Formula One platform to deliver it. And this is where the Gucci deal could completely change Alpine's future far beyond sponsorship money. Because once luxury brands enter Formula One seriously, they do not think in short-term results. They think in eras, identity, global influence. And according to reports from inside the paddock, that may be exactly what Alpine is trying to build now. Because for years, Alpine struggled with one major problem. The team never had a clear identity powerful enough to compete with Formula One's biggest brands. Ferrari represents history. Mercedes represents engineering perfection. Red Bull represents energy and rebellion. McLaren represents legacy and innovation. But Alpine often felt unfinished. Caught somewhere between a manufacturer project and a modern entertainment brand. Gucci could change that instantly. Because luxury fashion works differently from traditional sponsorship. A water company places logos on the car. A luxury brand transforms perception itself. And honestly, that transformation could become enormous visually. According to reports, Gucci may influence everything from the future livery design to team clothing and VIP hospitality experiences. That means Formula One fans may soon see something completely different in the paddock. Black liveries replacing the iconic pink BWT identity. Designer-inspired race suits. Luxury aesthetics surrounding the entire Alpine garage. Even hospitality areas potentially turning into fashion-level premium experiences during races like Miami, Monaco, Las Vegas, and Monza. And that matters more than people realize. Because Formula One is no longer selling only racing. It is selling access, exclusivity, status. The paddock itself has become one of the most valuable luxury environments in world sport. Celebrities, billionaires, global influencers. Exactly the audience Gucci already targets. That is why the partnership suddenly makes perfect sense strategically, especially in the United States. Because according to reports, Gucci sees Formula One as one of the fastest ways to accelerate growth inside the American market. And honestly, the timing could not be better. 3 American Grands Prix. Drive to Survive turning drivers into celebrities. Formula One culture exploding across social media. Luxury brands are realizing something huge. The sport no longer behaves like traditional motorsport. It behaves like premium global entertainment. And Alpine may now become the perfect vehicle to capitalize on that transformation. But here is where the story becomes even more important competitively. Because if the Gucci deal reaches the higher estimates near 50 or 60 million euros annually, Alpine's development power could increase dramatically under the budget cap era. That changes everything. Formula One success is no longer only about having the biggest budget. It is about maximizing development efficiency inside strict financial limits. An extra 20 or 30 million euros can completely transform upgrade programs. Faster aerodynamic packages. More simulation resources. More aggressive mid-season development. And suddenly, Alpine stops thinking like a midfield team. They start thinking like a future contender. That possibility is exactly why rival teams are watching this situation so carefully now. Because culturally, commercially, and financially, Alpine may be positioning itself for something much bigger than people expected. And honestly, Franco Colapinto may become one of the most important pieces in the entire project. Because according to reports, his Miami performance massively strengthened Alpine's commercial value during the Gucci negotiations. Not only because of the result itself, because of what Colapinto represents globally. A young driver with explosive audience growth, massive popularity across Latin America, huge social media engagement, and growing influence in the United States exactly when Formula One is becoming culturally dominant there. That combination is incredibly valuable for a luxury brand. Because Gucci is not buying only sponsorship visibility. They are buying emotional connection with a younger global audience. And suddenly, Alpine has something many Formula One teams desperately want right now. Momentum. Not only on track, culturally, commercially, globally. Which is why the entire paddock may now be underestimating how big this transformation could actually become. Because if the Gucci partnership works, if Alpine keeps improving competitively, if Colapinto's popularity keeps exploding worldwide, then Formula One may not simply be watching a sponsor change. It may be watching the birth of an entirely new type of Formula One powerhouse. And this is where the story could become even more dangerous for the rest of Formula One. Because if the Gucci partnership actually succeeds the way Alpine hopes, the team may stop behaving like a traditional midfield operation entirely. It may evolve into something Formula One has never truly seen before. A full luxury performance empire built around modern motorsport culture. And honestly, some people inside the paddock already believe the transformation has started. Because this is not happening randomly. The timing is too perfect. Formula One is exploding globally. Luxury brands are flooding into the sport. And Alpine suddenly finds itself at the center of one of the biggest cultural shifts in modern racing history. That matters enormously. Because for decades, Formula One sponsorship was mostly industrial. Oil companies, banks, technology firms. But now the sport is changing. Luxury fashion brands are realizing something huge. Formula One fans are no longer just motorsport fans. They are consumers, lifestyle audiences, young global viewers with massive spending power and emotional attachment to brands. That is exactly why Gucci entering Formula One feels so important. Because it confirms the sport has fully crossed into luxury entertainment territory. And Alpine may become the team that benefits most from that transformation. Especially if the financial estimates are accurate. Because according to reports, the deal could reach 50 to 60 million euros annually depending on the final structure. That kind of money changes everything under the budget cap era. Not just visually. Competitively. Formula One teams no longer win simply by spending the most money. They win by maximizing efficiency inside strict financial limits. And extra funding at Alpine's level could completely accelerate development cycles. More aerodynamic upgrades. Faster production turnaround. Better simulation programs. More aggressive in-season development. That is exactly why rival teams are watching the Gucci negotiations so carefully. Because if Alpine suddenly gains massive financial momentum while already improving on track, the midfield balance could collapse very quickly. And honestly, the Miami Grand Prix may have changed everything commercially. Because according to reports, Franco Colapinto's performance gave Alpine exactly the type of global visibility luxury brands dream about. That is where this story becomes much bigger than racing. Because Colapinto is not simply generating Formula One attention anymore. He is generating cultural attention. Millions of followers across Latin America. Huge engagement online. Rapid growth in the United States. And perhaps most importantly, emotional connection with younger audiences. That matters enormously to Gucci. Because modern luxury marketing no longer focuses only on exclusivity. It focuses on relevance, virality, identity, and Formula One suddenly delivers all three at the same time. Especially with younger drivers becoming global celebrities through social media and Netflix exposure. That is why some people inside Formula One now believe the Gucci-Alpine partnership could become the blueprint for the future of the sport itself. Not just sponsorship, cultural integration, fashion, entertainment, global branding ecosystems built around racing teams. And Alpine may have entered that future before everyone else realized where Formula One was heading. But here is the detail making this entire story even more fascinating. The deal reportedly arrives at the exact moment Alpine is rebuilding competitively under Flavio Briatore's leadership. That combination is incredibly powerful. Because luxury brands want momentum. They want transformation stories. And Alpine suddenly has one. A team rebuilding its image. A young driver exploding globally. A rising competitive project. And now potentially one of the biggest luxury sponsorships in modern Formula One history. That is not normal sponsorship timing. That feels strategic, calculated, almost perfectly designed for the modern Formula One era. And honestly, the rest of the paddock may already understand the real danger now. Because if Alpine successfully combines luxury branding, massive global popularity, rising competitiveness, and long-term financial power, then the team may stop competing only for points in the midfield. They may start competing for something far bigger: cultural dominance inside Formula One itself.